Hey everybody, Craig McKee here, and you know what time it is? It is tax filing time. Oh, you can almost see the fireworks and the celebrations going off. Lee Cunningham, Jackson Hewitt Tax Services. This is kind of your Super Bowl, so to speak. Like
Absolutely.
CPAs everywhere are celebrating. Hey, it's tax time to run those numbers. For the general populace, though, it can be confusing and a little overwhelming because it's not the same tax law from 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Things are always changing when it
Big
comes to this. So
changes.
what you may have filed last year or the year before may be different right now. What is the main, I guess, part? Who needs to file? There's the big question, right? Who needs to be filing their taxes?
So we definitely want people to, there's several reasons to file. First of all, you might be required to file. Okay.
Right.
Most of us are required to file. Some people file, especially as they become older and their only income might be Social Security. We still recommend that you file electronically to protect your Social Security number. Make sure nobody gets a hold of it because unfortunately it's the world out there and scams happen. So, but we definitely want people to, if they're required to file, we want them to be organized and we want to be upfront and start early organizing so that you have time to gather all the documents, make sure that you have everything as things are coming in. If you're getting things on paper in an envelope, make sure you have a home to put it, a drawer, an envelope, or whatever. And then a lot of us receive things digitally now.
Right.
So make sure if you haven't logged onto that website in a while that you've updated your password and you know how to get those documents because you don't want to forget
Because the
anything.
tax service providers may ask a question while you're filing. Hey, do you have this document? You want to be able to log in right then and print that out or get it to them.
And at Jackson Hewitt, we have a secure way to gather documents. We don't want our customers to be in a situation where they're emailing documents in because, again,
Right.
things can happen.
Right.
So we have something called document exchange. So if you were my client, I'd say, Craig, I'm going to send you a link and upload what you've got on your phone or on your computer.
Right.
And it's a secure way for you to just pipeline it into me and make
All
sure that
encrypted. That way nobody can
no,
get
no,
that
it's
information.
just straight. Yeah, it's a straight
So to be
line.
clear for folks out there, nothing's changed this year from a filing date. April 15th is still the filing date because it doesn't fall on a weird date of the week or any of those things.
Barring any other things going on in the world that we don't
Right.
know about right now, it is April 15th, which, it took us a few years after the pandemic to get back to that. So it's
Giving
great.
back some sort of normalcy. One thing that's been in a lot of headlines lately for Arizona specifically is that for the deductions and credits, they aren't ironclad yet. Things could be changing. What do folks really need to know if say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and file my Arizona taxes, but what could that mean when these deductions and credits are finally figured out?
Yeah, I think depending on their situation, there may be a benefit to them looking and amending their return down the road. We still don't have everything, the dust is not settled, so to speak.
Sure.
So we're encouraging our customers to go ahead and get it filed.
Hmm.
And so they know. And then we can always double back and make changes if it's beneficial. Sometimes the cost of making a change might not be beneficial for the
Okay.
amount of change that needs to be made.
Okay. So go ahead and file, she says. Go ahead and file, knock that out. Obviously, with the federal government filing early and now, the doors are open.
January 26th, they opened the doors. We participate in some early testing, so we were able to see the system working, and some of our customers already got their stuff across the bow,
Right.
and it's in there. So definitely, the IRS is open. Things are working now. They have not released any refunds yet.
Mhm.
So depending on your situation, refunds might be coming in the next few weeks, or they might be coming more towards the end of February, depending on the credits that are on your tax return.
And when you talk about credits and deductions, I mean, again, every person's situation can be different, whether you have children or don't have children. So you have earned income credit. There are folks who live off tips and they have tips on top of their pay. How is that being factored in now? And are there ceilings or caps, so to speak, when it comes to some of this?
Yeah, it's, everybody wants to buzz, there's no tax on tips. Well, there is a cap to it. I mean, it's a pretty decent cap, and we've already had some tip earners coming in pleasantly surprised. They always owe, so they kind of mosey in at the end of April,
Right.
in April. This year they came in January because of the buzz, and they were pleasantly surprised that they're getting a nice refund back.
Hmm.
So that was very helpful. A lot of people get overtime. Interesting on the overtime, it's not necessarily required because it went into play in the middle of the year, so employers weren't required to put it on the W-2. So for us, we want to include it. So we're asking for that last pay stub so we can see what your overtime is and compute it that way so that you get the benefit of that tax law.
So even though it
Change.
may not be on the W-2, you guys are taking that extra step to make sure that,
We want to make sure that we capture it, but we need documentation. And some employers were seeing it the way it was computed could have been a little different. So we just want to make sure that that last pay stub, then we know what we're dealing with.
most people by now have received, and depending on when you're watching this, by the end of January, your W-2s, all of your 1099s, all those forms or whatever that come in the mail, should be there either electronically or through the mail. What do people really need to know about those forms? Because you do get some in the mail, some are emailed to you, some you have to go to websites, the Department of Education, and download those
Yes.
forms.
Yes.
What advice do you have?
Everything is supposed to be ready January 31st. So for employers, that's a hard and fast rule for them. Sometimes we see some of the investment firms producing things a little bit after that date. But, we do need to have those. We want a complete picture. So if you're a little delayed getting those, just let us know that it's coming. We can still get going on the tax return and have everything inputted that we know about. But it's the stuff we don't know about that catches us sometimes.
And to that point, having the passwords and logins for things like investment accounts or some of the investment apps that are out there from Robinhood and Ninja Trader and all these things that are out there that have really brought in a lot of younger investors.
Yes.
One thing they need to be aware of is even if they didn't, I don't know, win the lottery, so to speak, when it came to their investments, they still need to be aware of perhaps some stock that they sold, say, last February, that they need to have that information.
You do report it even if it was a loss, and we do have clients all the time that come back with that IRS letter saying, I had a loss on this stock. Why are they trying to tax me on it? The IRS doesn't know you had the loss. They know you sold the stock, but they don't know what you paid for it. So you do have to provide your basis so that they can compute it and know whether it's a taxable event for you or
And
not.
if it's on an app, one of those apps, they can just, again, download the form and
Yes.
get it to you through your portal.
Yes,
as
yes.
well.
And make sure we get all pages. So sometimes they'll just provide page one. Well,
Right.
that's the recap. But we need to dig deep and see what else is in there. And then as long as you're talking about the younger crowd, they're really into crypto.
Right.
So I think when crypto first came on the scene, we don't have to report it. But you do have to report it.
Uncle
And
Sam.
the government knows. They're not going to leave money undetected. So
Right.
you do have to have that.
And that will catch up to you, obviously, eventually.
It does about a year later. About a year later, the IRS feeds it all in. And I think that's something that I know a lot of our taxpayers don't understand. They'll come in and say, I just want to file with one W-2.
Right.
Do you have more? Well, yeah, but I don't want to file with it because then I won't get as big a refund. But the government knows if the issuer issues it to the taxpayer, they have to report to the government.
Right.
So eventually, these things do come back.
Obviously, we have a mobile society in the sense that people are moving and relocating for jobs or whatever. For instance, like I moved back to the Valley, after many years, moved back here July 3rd. So I'm past that 6-month
Ooh,
mark
the
from
heat.
another state. I know, right? Perfect timing, right? And being from here too, my wife's originally from here. We're like, could we have picked maybe September, October to move back instead?
Yeah.
But no, we hit it hard, July and August. But that being said, so half of the year we were in Ohio. Second half, basically we're in Arizona. How does that work out for people who are transplants moving here?
So you would be required. I'm assuming you had filing requirements in both states
Sure.
because half the year half the income in each state.
Yeah.
So you do have to file both tax returns.
Is that any more challenging for folks out there to think about?
It can be because there are different credits, et cetera, that some states do and some states don't do. I don't know off the top of my head on Ohio,
right.
but
Sure.
In Ohio, I do know we get a lot of customers that come in and they have to file locality returns as well,
Yeah.
school district returns. Those can be a little bit complicated,
Yeah.
and our software does it. But
Sure.
we're not necessarily experts on Ohio,
But just because
but
you've
we
moved away
can.
from one state, you can't forget about them either.
No.
They
It's
want their
on-
money
no,
too.
it's on your W-2. It's coded with the state.
Right.
So
Scams are a major thing. We talk about them all the time, tied to so many things. the IRS is not going to call me on the phone. They're not going to send me a text message saying you owe this amount, and if you don't, you're going to have a sheriff deputy knocking on your door. They are still very old school in the way they reach out.
It's definitely, if I can use the term, snail mail.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way they do it. Now, something new that they've done, if you're if you get a letter, I call it a little love letter from them in the mail, something new that has thrown a few of our customers thinking that it's fake, it has a QR code on it.
Oh, okay.
So they're like, oh, the IRS. No, they do QR codes because then you can upload documents to them through that code. So that is something that is part of what they've changed. I believe they started as a test a couple of years ago. So only a small percentage had QR codes. Now I believe most of the correspondence.
But it's important to look at that letter, see where it's coming from.
Don't ignore it.
And if you have
That
any
does not
questions,
go in the drawer,
but if
Craig.
you have any questions, still call the IRS
Yes.
directly. Reach out.
Well, unfortunately, the IRS situation is that their call centers are overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So calling can sometimes be a bit of a process.
Right.
You can do it, but you pack a lunch,
Yeah,
sit
yeah,
on the phone,
right.
and you might be
So if
there
somebody
for
gets a letter
while.
like this and they are concerned, like, is this legitimately from the
Bring it
IRS or
in
not?
to us. We'll take a look at it.
You guys can take a look at
Yeah,
it.
looking's free. We don't charge for that. If we have to do work to correct something,
Yeah.
then of course we're going to charge to do the
Sure.
amendment. But we need the original tax return so we can see what it is the IRS is talking about.
Obviously, Jackson Hewitt Tax Services. You want clients to come through the door.
Of course.
You have a service and it benefits customers. For those who are DIYers,
Mm-hmm.
what are some things though? Hey, good for you. You're going to tackle this. You can. What are some things that they just maybe need to keep in mind?
They need to be updated on the tax law. It's great to rely on the DIY software, but without a human to kind of explain things, you just need to make sure that you understand what it is you're doing.
Don't go to TikTok for tax advice.
No, no, go to a trusted resource. So when you do that search engine, AI might serve up something and you click on it and it's not the right stuff. So, always make sure you're going to a trusted resource for your information, like the IRS website. Log on, or you can log on, or you can just view different subject matter. They have a YouTube channel with some instructions on it. And of course, the Jackson Hewitt website, jacksonhewitt.com. We have Q&A on there, and it's compartmentalized you so you can research by subject matter. Very good resource for seeing if you're on track or not.
Do you have a portal on the website for self-filers that's different than going into an office?
There is there is something that we have that's people can go in online and go to jacksonhewitt.com and file. But unfortunately, if they file there, I don't have eyes into what they did. So
Sure.
that's been a little bit
Because you
of
might
an
also
issue.
notice in person again, oh, wait, no, you have this form. That means this now. I didn't realize you had that form. Now you have it. So now we have to make sure we have the right adjustments in there.
Right. One of the things that we're seeing is that a lot of our early filers get their healthcare from the healthcare.gov website.
Yeah.
And so the healthcare.gov website produces a Form 1095A
Right.
that the IRS requires you to file. Even if you don't have the income, you still have to file a return to reconcile that. And so a lot of customers will kind of, oh, I don't want to include that, but you are required. And unfortunately, the IRS won't let us e-file the return without it. They'll kick it back and say, you forgot something.
And then finally here, side hustles. The gig society has been around for a while now. And whether you're door dashing or anything else in the realm of
Uber,
gig,
Lyft,
right?
yeah,
all
all
of
of
that
that,
stuff.
uh-huh.
How important is that? Or how do they navigate? And has any of that changed, really?
So again, we have customers that, oh, I didn't make much, right? It wasn't profitable, so I don't have to
Right.
report it. But it does have to be reported. All income has to be reported. The IRS considers you, even if it's a side hustle, you're self-employed. So you have that component to your tax return as well as your regular W-2 filing.
Yeah.
And so you have to merge both onto the tax return. But you definitely are required to keep records if you're self-employed. So anything over $400, you have to report that income and you have to have records for it. So we do get a number of clients that come in that it's just a cash business for them. Maybe they're doing hair or they're landscaping and it's a cash business. And depending on the credits that they're applying for, they have to have some records to reconcile that because certain credits are dependent on how much money you made. So if you can't prove that you made the money,
Right.
so just being cash isn't
Right.
always the
Are you a
great thing.
landscaper who made $20 throughout the entire year? It may not be a very successful business, but clearly, if you're not claiming the actual amount,
Right.
that could really hurt you too.
And there's that common sense component. You have 4 children and you earned how much? I mean, how did you live?
Yeah.
So you do what makes sense and make sure it makes sense when you file your tax return.
Well, Lee Cunningham with Jackson Hewitt Tax Services, providing some advice here. Obviously, if you have any further questions, you can go to their website, and Lee and her team, are going to take care of you, of course, irs.gov as well. But hey, ABC 15, we are here listening to you. If you have any concerns or questions, we're going to be doing stories throughout all the way till April 15th.
Oh boy.
We're going to be watching people file those last second, filings right before midnight, et cetera. So
Not an extension to pay though.
not an extension. Yeah, real quick on that. So you have to April 15th, you have to pay at least a certain portion, correct?
The IRS expects you to know your tax liability up to about 90%
Okay.
accuracy.
Yeah.
After that, they start kicking in with the penalty and interest and all that. So an extension is an extension to file your return,
Right.
but not an extension to make the payment.
All right. So keep that in mind. Thank you so much for spending time with us. ABC15.com for the latest news and headlines.